Peace, this is Daddy-O from the legendary hip-hop band Stetsasonic. I only touch greatness. You're going to be checking out the Conversations with Chad, because I only touch greatness right here.
Yeah.
Prince, okay, you want to shoot one?
Yeah. I'll RP plug 2, like seeing, coming from, being a De La Soul fan, like how was it working? Was you in the studio whenever they was doing 3 Feet High and Rising? Like how was
No. So I wasn't in the studio for most of it. Let me tell you. So the De La story goes like this. I'm gonna tell the story, but I like the way Chuck D tells it better. But Chuck's not here right now, so I'll tell the story. So there's a tour. It's a tour called the Def Jam Tour. The top rung of that tour is 2 headliners, LL Cool J and Houdini. Step down from that is Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince and Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. Step down from that, right dead in the middle, is Eric B. and Rakim. And then on the lower rung, the last 2 groups that open the tour is Public Enemy and Stetsasonic. Now, everybody that I just mentioned had their own tour bus. But the 2 biggest groups that I just mentioned that opened the show, both that got 6 members plus, shared a bus. So Public Enemy and Stetsasonic are sharing this bus, and 3 albums get written in that bus. In Full Gear by Stetsasonic, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back by Public Enemy, and a little DJ by the name of Prince Paul from Long Island is in the back writing 3 Feet High and Rising. So what happens is we get back, we start recording In Full Gear. Paul comes to me one day and plays this record called Plug Tuning and says, what do you think? Because I don't know what it is, but this is, remember the little guys that come in here, because De La used to always come in the studio with us. Most people don't know De La Soul got their name from us, from a B-side of a Stetsasonic record called Rock De La Stet. And that's where they got their name from. De La Stet, De La Soul, right? Excuse me. So he says, yeah, this is, this is Dave and them record that be in the studio with us, that be hanging out in the studio with it. I thought it was amazing. I actually had 3 deals on the table by Monday. Tommy Boy just reacted quicker than everybody else. It was these guys had a different, first of all, Paul always had that kind of music in him, but it couldn't all work for Stet. A lot of it was too playful, and it wasn't going to work for a Stetsasonic record, being that playful. Even some of the records, you'll hear some of that playful stuff that Paul did for us on pretty much on all the records besides for On Fire, not so much. But on In Full Gear, you got music for the Stepfully Insane. You got Prince Paul's A Sucker on Blood, Sweat, No Tears. Like, he would do that. And in moderation is fine for us, but we just couldn't be that playful with all of the things that we wanted to say. So we did record at the same studio, and I was privy to a few of those sessions, but it wasn't my thing. I'm trying to make Stet records at the same time.
Perfect. Can you tell us about your favorite venue you've ever performed at? Because I know that I've seen a few things, like Chuck D talked about your 2-hour show that you guys did over in, I believe it was Amsterdam?
Paradiso.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Amsterdam.
Okay. Yeah. Can you tell us about the favorite venue you've ever performed in?
That's hard. That's real hard, but it's probably Brixton Academy. It's probably Brixton Academy in London. I mean, we did do some bigger shows. We did a huge show in Dakar. I don't know how many people that was, maybe 150,000, maybe. And then we did 90,000 at Wembley Arena, and that was nice. But I love rock and roll rooms. There's something totally different about a rock and roll room, right? Like a CBGB's that used to, like, those kind of rooms are just kind of set up, and in a different kind of way. So I love rock and roll rooms. So Wembley is kind of the combination. Wembley is probably the first technical House of Blues type of venue, because that's what they try to do with all the House of Blues venues. They try to give you a big feel, so you almost got a stadium kind of feel, but then you got what you get in the club venue, which is the great monitors and those type of things. But for me, it's probably Brixton Academy.